Hi Craig, hope all is good. I have updated, just quickly take you through this. I've taken off the stock list from our admin tab. There is stuff over here which is relevant. They are now these grey tabs at the end. So they're all the same, more or less, at the moment. If you want to change the name of any of the tabs, just double click on the tab name and change the name to whatever you want. Let's call this Craig, for example. You'll see the name then changes up here, and then in our admin tab where it's looking up. So this is our tab name now, and this is the system name for that stock list. The list over here in grey is then those lists all alphabetically sorted, just to make things a bit easier to find. One thing I did notice is, let's go down to 4, this one. You've got some lines where there is a kind of note which I think should be attached to the kind of line before. So what I would do here is, if you want a product with that line attached, it's easy to forget to select one. Otherwise, just go into the row where you want it attached, do Alt and Enter, which will put it on a new line, and then just paste it in underneath. So then when we search for 1145 in our quote sheet, so if we just do that, 1145, we haven't got that's all. That's list 1145. You can see all the products with 1145 now, and you'd be able to select that one with the note attached to it. Just obviously resize the row to make sure that the text all fits in appropriately. Okay, so that then takes us onto our quote sheet. So we have the automated name now, which takes into account the date, the client company name, the quote reference, and then the title that I've added in here. Titles are the same, so they all feed off that one in the original sheet. So that now appears in here, and you can add in extra info as you could before, but you don't need to manually enter the title or anything each time. We then have our drop-down list, so as you've seen, I can select from Matt's list, and I've got all my products in here from Matt's list that I can select from, and that works as before. Something just to note, if you change the name of a tab, so let's call it tab 2. You can see there's an error here. It can't find that list anymore because Matt's list doesn't exist. You will see it then on the drop-down list. So if I select tab 2, if I just change that back to Matt's for now. So tab 2 doesn't exist now, and what you'll find is, you just, when you're trying to add something, just nothing comes up on the list. So you'll see an error here, an error. It's not available, can't find the list. If you select Matt, then you will be able to find it. Another thing to note is, obviously you're going to set each of these product lists up to be specific per client or industry or whatever. So when you're setting up a quote, just make sure you're not trying to use 2 tabs, 2 stock lists at the same time, because it'll always default to looking up the pricing on whatever is selected in this box here. So, for example, list 1, 01, list 1, only exists in Craig's list. So it can't find a price for that. But if you had that on 2 lists and it was different prices, it would read through the price for the second list. So yeah, if I just go back to Craig's list, you can see this now populates with the pricing. So just make sure once you've selected the list, it's the right list for doing the quote, and don't change it right before you save it, basically. Then we've got this functionality which will hide the rows below. So anything with a value in quantity, it will hide the rows. So blank rows, it's also hiding as well. So yeah, always really needs a number or a 0 even in the quantity column. and then it'll hide the rows, so it brings everything into one page, or it will flow over pages, but it won't have that massive gap in between. And if you click on the second button, then it just unhides the rows as well. Everything reads through as before onto all the other sheets. I've added in the proof of delivery sheet, which is just essentially a copy of this one. Just a note on here, obviously this section here is over pasting what might be reading through from your pro forma or your quote sheet. So before doing that each time, just copy down your, actually highlight your cell, your last cell, and just paste, and then it's just going to update that formula, so it's going to check any more lines that might be in there before you then take this and then copy it, just to make sure you've got the right amount of information in there, and then you can update these cells. Okay, I think that's about it, and you've listened to me for long enough. Let me know if you've got any questions. Yeah, that would be great, and thank you once again for the work. Cheers, bye.